Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 104. Today is Sunday, September 27th, and I am glad you could join me today. I am feeling a little bit gross today, but I'm outside. I'm drinking my coffee. So we're just gonna roll with it. I actually ended up mixing hot chocolate in, so I'm having a little bit of seasonal dissonance right now, so everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's fall! And in Texas, well, I think yesterday the high was 95. I'm not sure what the high is today. It doesn't feel quite so hot. So, for all of you guys experiencing fall, because it actually is by season fall, I hope you guys are having a lovely time. We are still in summer. So, I'll have my hot chocolate coffee, but it is not the weather. I guess I did get to visit fall, Labor Day weekend, so we went up to the mountains in Colorado, and it's fall. It was fall there at the time. So, knitting. I am working on Joris the Dragon still. I'm betting this isn't going to be a male dragon, but I don't know. I think I want to call it, like, what is it? Or I think an appropriate name for this one would be, like, Ember or something like that, because it's all purples and reds and oranges and stuff like that. So, here's where I am. I have finished the body, so I have my stuffing hole all ready to go. I haven't put the eyes on yet, but that'll be coming soon. I'm actually working on the arms, so I did the elbow this morning, and now I'm sort of cruising on the rest of the arm, so I have a couple more rows to go before I start the little claw hand things. And I was looking at it, and I didn't think I was using up very much yarn, so then I grabbed mine off my desk, just for comparison purposes. So this is how it's going to turn out when it's all done, is all adorable and squishy and stuff. And they do appear to be the same size. It's not stuffed, so that's why it seems pretty small. But I think this will be like the perfect little guy. So, but this one's mine. It's blue, so. And, like, what is it? The little bottom comes together really nicely. And so, it'll be cute. So, I still have quite a bit more to go. I think the legs will actually end up taking up a decent amount. And I brought it home because I wanted to figure out what in the world it was that I did for the tail. Which, it seems like I did something, so I'll be able to read my knitting and figure it out from there. Because, remember, this is a firm little tail. So, we shall see. It is coming along. I decided it was making for bad purse knitting, so I ended up starting a new project to satisfy that need. So Joris is like a Zint market pattern. What is it? Diana Knittables, I think, was the one who first made this pattern really popular. I'm still getting used to, the fact that the designer is Dutch, and she has a very different nomenclature for things, so her make one increase is actually a star, which, when you're used to stars indicating repeats, and the stars seem to fall in about the right spot for repeats, like, I had this problem the first time I knit it, and it just took a little bit to actually figure out what was going on. So, such is life. The other thing that I've been working on, which hasn't gotten as much love as previous weeks, is the baby blanket. And I will very carefully extract the baby blanket out of the bag. So I'm working on the border now. Try to figure out where my yarn is. Okay, so I'm in part of a row, which honestly it doesn't really matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, but I think I posted a picture of this on Instagram when I had completed the when I had completed the joining of everything. So there is proof of it looking somewhat more normal. So I am doing a garter border. I am alternating colors. So I have quite a bit of the white, and I have a little bit of the green variegated in the gray, and it looks like based on how much I'm using, I can have 2 stripes apiece of the green and gray, and then have the white to fill in. So it is coming along, and fill it in and then bind it off, probably in the white, or it'll have to be bound off in the white, let's just put it that way. So it is coming along. It is way too warm to have all of this on my lap. And I'll just show you. So this is after 1 row of border. This is how much I have left, but it's enough for another row. This should be enough for 2, and this should be enough for the rest. So this is like 1.6 ounces, and it took about 0.3 ounces for a row. So I do have enough of this. I'll have a wee little bit extra. And I think I should take the things out of the bag. We'll shimmy those over. Okay. And then carefully place this back in the bag. So, that is coming along nicely. It'll be done well in time. Hopefully I can find a way to just finish off. Oh, what is it? So, the dragon is going to my future niece, the blanket is going to my future niece. I'll probably start a sweater. I think I want to make a sport weight baby surprise and then a worsted weight baby surprise. So a sport weight should fall into that 0 to 3 month range. I think, what is it? Fingering would be way too small. That would be like newborn only. So if I make a sport weight one and then I make a worsted one, that will be a full, so then that'll be a one for this winter and then one for next winter. Sort of size breakdown. I have plenty of worsted. I do not have much sport. I might get away with doing DK. We shall see. So what I ended up starting today, so that's sort of in the vague future plans for knitting. What I ended up starting today is a sock. This will be for the Dear Sweet Lovable one. It is out of Diabolical in the skinny strong arm sock. So it's a 2-ply. I think I've used this base before. It looks very similar to the base that Squoosh uses. I'm not sure which. What undyed sock yarn vendor that relates to. I don't think it's Wet Gem. So it is, or it's similar based on its structure. It is 80/20, which is the primary reason why I decided to knit with it. And I'm excited because it looks like I can finally knit a pair of Jecks. So Jeck is a pattern by, oh, I guess I have the thing up. I could just pull it up and read you it. Oh, this might take forever. My computer's been having a hard time lately, so it has not enjoyed holding all of that memory. So it is by a German designer, and it is very, very excellent pattern for, it's a very, very excellent pattern for a variegated yarn, and more specifically a variegated yarn that makes sort of that chittery, chattery sort of pooling. So that means that which sort of requires really, really short color repeats or something like that. So it's the case where basically I'm alternating, like I think this particular skein is 1 part purple to 1 part blue to 2 parts green. So this means that every color is on top of a different variegated color, and for the most part it's greens on purples and then blues on greens. So so that's just the way it's knitting up. I guess it's still thinking about loading the jack pattern and whoever in the world it's by. Try it again. Press the button. Alright, this time the PDF's actually coming up. And it has a chart, which would have been great for the chart knit along, but I totally missed the boat on that one. Alright, the author is Regina Sada. So, now we know. So I really, quite literally, just cast this on. It was the case where I was, I made an offer to the Dear Sweet Lovable One to knit him a pair of stripy socks because the dragon was just, like, getting to be a little bit too annoying for purse knitting, and I just wanted something easy and simple, so making him socks made sense in that regard. And this is, but this isn't stripy. I thought it was stripy based on the skein, based on how it looked in the skein. This, actually is like super duper short color runs, which I realized as soon as I started winding it. It was like, ooh, I could just make checks with these. So I'm going to make about 2 inches of ribbing and then launch in the pattern. The pattern doesn't actually have a 72 stitch size, so I'm just going to make a little modification to the chart. So I'll do, what is it? So it'll be the case where the pattern has you do like slip stitches and garter in it in order to really mix up the colors, so that's why it looks really cute in a highly variegated yarn. So that is the plan. So I think it's the case where instead of doing, garter on either side and then a slip stitch in the middle, I'll do, I'll have like 4-row rib with, words are escaping. So I'll have like 4-row rib and then a section of 5, which is garter with the slip stitch in the middle that would make it, cause that stack to occur. So I tried to do this with my Woolmeisa socks, which I just finished, but they weren't pooling in the right way for that. So this is just perfect for the pattern, so I'm really excited about that. And it is super duper easy, so I could like hold it up higher so you could see that I was like knitting away on it. Such is life. So I'm off and away on this one. It'll be, I think, a little bit easier than Colorworks on Slate. Like the last couple pairs I've made for him have been a real pain in the butt, so I'm hoping that these will be easy. Get something out of my stash, which has been hanging out there for a while. I'll have to look up and figure out what my oldest skein is now, because I just pulled the Mountain Colors skein for the dragon, and that was the oldest skein. This was actually a prize, so I have to laugh a little. So right now I'm watching Stockinette Zombies from the beginning. And from the beginning, one of the very early episodes, Megan ended up buying 2 skeins of this. And she is now known as Just Run It. And then, I don't know if she like donated one or whatever. I don't think I've ever seen her knit it, so maybe she has it hiding in her stash somewhere. But she ended up donating it for the Beatnik Cal, which was a couple of years ago, maybe like 2012. It was about the time I started spinning. So a bunch of us in my knitting group ended up all knitting Beatniks in the Beatnik Cal, which was hosted by Emily of What Just Watchin' and Hollywood Knitter. And I don't think I've ever seen Hollywood Knitter's podcast, but such is life. So I really love my Beatnik, and I ended up winning this as a prize. So I got like a Stockinette Zombie sticker and yarn from Megan, and I just had no clue who she was at. Or I thought that the podcast was going to be different just based on the name, and it turned out it was to be quite the opposite. So I have really enjoyed going through their back episodes. I just really like a 2-person podcast. I think, there's a lot of good riffing. I don't know. It's just a little bit more balanced that way than a 1-person podcast. Because it's just me talking to myself. You know what I mean? So I'm really enjoying knitting on this. guess, as you can tell, I'm just wailing away. Apparently this is what I really wanted. But what was it? The Deersweet level 1 is sick today, so hopefully I'm not being too loud. If not, he'll, like, peek his head through the shades, because this is our bedroom. Poor boy. So, he's got a cold or a flu or something like that. He's got the allergy. So, I think he's taking a nap. I'm not sure. I decided this would be the quietest location. Now for spinning, since, what is it? Allison and Jose were both bothering me about it, I did finish the stupid game. So this makes for £1 for my pound-a-thon, which, what was it? Tuesday was going to be the last day to post. And this is partially, or what is it, 1.2 ounces of it was from the original lot of chocolate Shetland fleece. And then 0.8 ounces of it was from the second lot of chocolate Shetland fleece. I did actually, what was it? Yeah, so I'll just finish talking about this guy. So it hasn't been given its back yet, I just finished it last night. It is, what is it, 1.96 ounces, and it is 79 yards, so it's coming in right on target for weight. It's still, yeah, it definitely needs a bath. I'm going to leave it in the skein form just because, yeah, it's that crazy. I finished spinning the singles yesterday, then I two-plied it, and then I two-plied the two-ply, like all just pretty much in a giant run. So it had a lot of energy after all of that. But I think I got it about right for the plying, so it's a good cable. And this will eventually be my mulled cider. So as it turns out, what is it? I still can't feel my thumb. I did an awful lot of, so whatever, I carded the next 2 ounce lot, so look at all of that Rologgy goodness hanging out in my Ranch 99 bag. So I have a little bit over 2 ounces in here, and I was a little ruthless about pulling stuff out that wasn't any good. And then I have 2 more, or I have a little bit more than 2 ounces left in order to turn into Rologs in this bag. So this will become another bag of Rologs in my little Sprouts grocery bag. And with that, I think that will be the end of me carding this fleece. So that would give me, so this skein here is number 14. So then that would give me, 16 skeins of about 2 ounces, which would be full 2 pounds. And let me just take a moment and we'll figure out whether or not I'm even in the ballpark. My bags are going to actually take off. Alright, so I'm calculating. It would help if I actually came across the calculator. Alright, so 16 times 80 is 1,280 yards. And I'll have to double check on the pattern because it is a full-on sweater. I don't even think I have it in my favorites or anything. I think it's in my what is it? I just need to figure out the right thing. So it's in my queue. So travel to my queue, loading. Because what is it? Well, the short answer is figuring out whether or not I'm in the ballpark for yardage would be helpful. Alright, mulled cider, which is a Thea Coleman, aka Baby Cocktails pattern. Still waiting for it. Okay. So they call for 1,100 to 2,000 yards. And for my size, I think I'm short. Well, what is it? So, let's see. If I go with the 36, that's 1300. If I go with the 38, that would be 1400, which means I'm actually still pretty short. Oh, silliness. I definitely have the air in. So I'll have to think about that a little bit. Okay. So I'll have to think about it. It will be super duper cute. And it's worse from the bottom up, so that would make it more exciting. Oh my. So, what is it? I'm also probably a bit heavier on the arm, so it might turn out that actually isn't a big deal. I'll have to do a little bit of swatching to figure out. So if I can, what is it? So if it turns out that I have about, 1,300 yards of a bulky, then I definitely have enough, and it's no big deal. If it turns out that I have about 1,300 yards of an Aran, then I think I need to find a way to actually use more of the fleece. So we shall see. I haven't, I haven't explicitly tossed any at this point, but I think if I want to continue processing this stuff, I will need to comb it. So I made an announcement to the Dear St. Level One as he was like pathetically lolling in the knitting room and briefly took a nap as to, I think I'm going to get some combs. So I'll probably check them out on the Woolery and see how much they're running for. But I think that's the right tool, and I think how I want to process my next fleece would be to comb it. So this makes some sense with respect to me. So I'll check and see if like the Woolery has like a good deal on combs or something like that. Because I think, like, so to be the case where what's left is no longer really in lock formation, and I know there's an awful lot of seconds mixed in with it, so, but it's definitely 8 ounces, I think it's about 8 ounces of fiber, so surely there's, like, whatever, 2 that would be reasonable to spin with. And I also have more out here too, it's just more of a pain to deal with. Yeah, no, I still have quite a bit left over in here, so that's probably more as well. But it definitely needs to be, it definitely would need to be combed instead of carded. And I'd have to wash that stuff, so, which isn't too bad. I really liked my new washing method, so spinning with it was really, really pleasant. So I think I would like to continue to do that in the future. So Charlotte Shetland fleece is coming along. I finished whatever my obligation for doing, I ended up spinning the 19 ounces I had. I ended up throwing out 3-ish, nearly 4 as waste. So, and whatever, that isn't actually too bad for the thing, or for the point of the cow. So the other thing that's still, for the most part, pretty chill is the, is my Hello Yarn Falkland. So this is still on the spindle. I don't think I've actually even spun on it at all. I guess I could spin on it a little bit on the show. Who knows? So this is Hello Yarn Falkland in the pigment colorway, which is the SSK colorway. I started spinning this at SSK, so this is like my last lingering SSK project. So everything else has been finished from SSK except for this, which maybe is a little bit silly, but such is life. It'll probably end up going, or I guess I'll have to figure something out. So what is it? I will be going on a rock climbing trip in a couple of weeks, so that'll be quite a lot of fun, and there's nothing more fun than bringing a spindle along for the inevitable airport and stuff like that. Well, I guess it is going to be a direct flight, so it shouldn't be too bad, all things considered. There'll just be a little bit of opportunity to freak out people by spinning in public. I'm sure there are also other easier ways to do that as well. So it's been spinning up lovely. It's just I haven't been setting aside a lot of time for, I haven't been spending, or whatever, I haven't set aside a lot of time for spinning lately. What is it? I did power through whatever that skein of chocolate chip and fleece, but I have been praying, whatever. It'd be the case where this week I was watching podcasts and doing chocolate chip and fleece, and then the weeks before my normal spending time was spent working on the blanket, so I guess it just depends. What is it? I'm probably going to be starting actually a new spinning project fairly soon. Well, what is it? I guess it's a question of whether or not I need to get cracking on finishing the chocolate shell and fleece for real so that I could start working on the malt cider, or if, well, what is it? I might just need to throw in the palette cleansing spin and we'll just do that instead. So my plan for palette cleansing, because what is it, the reward for finishing another skein of chocolate shell and fleece is I get to spin something that's actually been prepared well, as in not prepared by me, is, what is it, in Complete Twisted Arbitrary we're having an opportunity for triple dipping, and you know how I feel about triple dipping. I really like triple dipping. So I have my last braid of fiber for the bin. So I'm pretty sure it's the last one. If not, the other bag of chocolate shell and fleece would be number 2. I'll just have to check. I probably need to post in the bin and make sure. But the last fiber I have in my bin is BFL silk, which is a part of the oldest stash I have. What is it? Whereas second oldest in the stash is probably maybe the chocolate shell and fleece. So just to give you an idea of the depth of the stash, was things I bought in 2013. So it's the case where I ended up getting this braid of whatever, 75% BFL and then 25% Tussa, and it's sort of in blues and greens. So it's the last bin spin, and there are 2 spin-alongs going on right now, which make it really easy for you to join in. So one of them is the My Precious, so it's something that you've had for a long time, and is probably luxurious. So BFL silk, I think, fits the bill there. And then spin-along number 3 is the 4th quarter spin is actually not a dyer this time, but something that inspires you. So I need to select an inspiration photo, and it would just somehow need to match the BFL silk I already have. So I'll have to pull it out and look at it. It's probably going to need a little bit of fluffing because it was definitely a pretty compact thing the day I got it, and that hasn't changed. But whatever. I think it'll be rather lovely to spin. And it'll be whatever, a nice change of pace from the chocolate shell and fleece, which basically leaves little bits of seconds all over the place, which is sort of why I want to come. We'll just bring that right back around. So, and what is it? I am still working on this spin, which has been taking its time. I'll probably end up applying this on the wheel, because I think that'll be a little bit easier. And I'll probably end up needing to split the purples into 2 groups if I do decide to spin it on my spindle, or to spin this guy on the spindle, because, what is it, the yellows are filling it up, and I know that there was far less yellow than purple on this guy, so I might end up getting several small skeins instead of one, whatever, instead of having a big one, but I think it'll look pretty cute that way. And this will become a colorwork something. It was something with yellows and purples. I think that is what it wants to be. So, I guess I can put this away now. So, whatever. I did work on it a little bit on the podcast, so not halfway through that color. So, I did get a little bit, which is better than normal. But yeah, no, there's a lot going on right now, so I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, no. We'll just see how things go. But what is it? For the BFL Silk Spin, in order for it to count for all of the cows at once, I would need to finish it by, I think, Halloween. So, so that shouldn't be a problem if it's on my wheel. Maybe I just need to, what is it? I probably should wrap up some things. Because if the dragon is a stay-at-home project, and the blanket is a stay-at-home project, and the spinning is a stay-at-home project, that doesn't leave a lot of whatever. That makes it a little bit challenging to give everything levels, if you know what I mean. So, I'll have to manage all of those things. Let's see. So I should be able to record next week, but I won't be able to record the week after. And let me just look up the date, because I always fail at adding dates properly. Waiting for the calendar to show up. Yeah, no, my computer's having a really hard time right now. Hopefully it hasn't, like, screwed up the sound or something. That would be unfortunate. Still waiting for the time. We'll try that again. So, I do know it's September 27th. For some reason I said the 28th last week. I don't know what sort of ad fail I had last week. I'm going to try this again. Thinking about it. Looks promising. Thinking harder. My face is somewhat frozen on the screen, so. Come on, we can load. It'll be October, which is so crazy making. It doesn't feel like October at all. Alright, it looks like I have several of them coming up at once. Alright, so switch to October. So next the next date will be the 4th of October. And we'll just kill all of those versions. Only 2 came up, even though I clicked 3 times, so whatever. I guess my computer's having a hard time today. And we'll see whether or not I get combs tonight. I don't know. I think life will be easier if I had combs. So, with that, I hope you all have a very lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.